Hello, Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me, where I get into drag to film a video later today. And we have Lori, yay, and Lynette. Thank you both for coming. And how's everyone's reading going this week? I finished Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. The first, I'm so conflicted about this book because the last half was really good. I couldn't put it down good. The first maybe 40% of the book was really hard to get into. I thought I might even have to DNF it. It was very character focused, and it was like really going into like the emotional state of these characters, real deep dives. And I didn't like any of the characters. I had the same problem with Gifted and Talented. And they did this sort of flashback thing where they started in the present, then they flashed back to when they were these adults, and then they flashed back to when they were teenagers. And that flashback was like long. It was like 50 pages long or more. So I wasn't really happy for the first half of the book, and it was really hard for me to get through. But then it picked up. The speculative element is you go up this staircase, and you enter this sort of murder house. This ultimate haunted house where each room is like a different murder that had happened throughout the United States. And it was I really liked the concept. And when they were teenagers, one person went up the stairs and disappeared. Then the stairs disappeared, and they had to live with it until they were adults. So anyway, I don't know if I should recommend it or not, because the last half was so good, but the first half was so hard to get into. I don't know. Still not oh, I'm so sorry, Lynette, recovering from an illness, not reading for me lately either. Managed to laugh my way into a bad asthma attack while watching funny cat videos. Oh no! Oh no. Well, I'm trying out these eyebrow stamp where you stamp the eyebrows, and I put them a little high, so it's not usually where I have my eyebrows. So we'll see how that goes. And things are going crazy in the world, so I really hope that Moon Books is doing okay. If you remember her, she lives in Israel. And later today, there is a gay pride, which Dennis and I are planning to go to in Henderson, which is part of Las Vegas. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of political speeches on stage, just because. So then I was thinking, should I go in drag? Because I'm getting up into drag today. But here's the thing: it's noon right now, and we'll probably go like around 6 o'clock, and it's already over 100 degrees out here in Vegas. So I'd have to stay in drag for, 6+ hours, and be outside in 100-degree weather. So I don't think I'm going to go out and drag, but we'll see how I feel. Okay, so and the more I'm thinking about them, it does not sound like a great idea to go out and drag in 100-degree weather. I was going to do purple and then pink. Lynette did finish Badlands by Preston and Child. Thriller mystery, 4 out of 5. And I'm thinking if I do go out, should I do a rainbow look? But I'm just gonna do purple and pink. So I released the ugly cover video. So thank you, Lynette, for that. I put the because usually I schedule them for release, and I mixed up because usually I do 12 noon Pacific time, but I did midnight Pacific time. Okay. Almost finished Nobody's from History, quirky light history book. I put the Stephen King book on hold and I'm feeling better. All right. Yeah, that's the one with the Holly character. I'll be honest, I haven't kept up with that. I'm pretty sure I read Mr. Mercedes, but I don't think I've read beyond that. Oh, and today the video I want to film is the Nebula Awards was released. So well, this is not at all even, but wonder where the others are today. Probably busy. Maybe they're out. I doubt they are, but maybe they're out of one of these rallies. Hey, Tim, thank you for joining us. Hope you had a good nap. And my question is, if you read a book where the first half is really bad and you almost DNF it, but the second half is really good, would you recommend that? Okay. Ollie's one of King's favorite characters, and he seems to be shifting to mystery from horror. Interesting. Interesting shift. So far, my favorite read this year is the Dungeon Crawler Carl books, which shocked me. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Thing about this lavender color, it's not as vibrant. I recommend it with the proviso that they need to get to the second half for it to get really good. Just a warning, so folks, to folks, so they don't think I'm crazy for recommending it. It's good. That's Mooney. Oh, DK Moon's here. Okay, I thought Moon Books, who lives in Israel, so I was like worried about her. But yay, DK Moon's here. Dungeon Carl Crawler Carl is my favorite for the year, so unexpectedly good. Agree. I would probably would DNF such a book before I got halfway. I'm too old to read books I'm not enjoying. DNF gets easier as you age. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, because I think of myself as a booktuber, and if it's a book that I pick for Shelve It or Shove It, I kind of feel I want to give it more than just a chance or a casual glance. Okay. The wig I grabbed is red, so I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, purple and red makes sense. Made the mistake of not DNFing The Only Good Indians because other people were saying how good it was, and I hated it. Is that the one I read? Yeah, that's the one I read. I totally agree. I was not one of those people who said it was good. I mean, some books you just need to read, uh, kind of push yourself through the first part. because like the writing style is so different, or the characters are so weird. It just takes a while to get into it. Like, what was that book I read about the Korean provisional government? And it's like I don't know if it won the Pulitzer or was a nominee. And I really had trouble getting into that one too because it was just so oddly constructed, the plot. And but once I got into it, I'm really happy I continued and finished it. That doesn't always happen. Book I DNF'd very quickly, just won the women's prize. I have no trouble with weird characters. Yeah, I don't have trouble with weird characters. I just there has to be something that I like about them. I mean, even if they're like terrible people, um, they like need at least like a sense of humor or to be overly dramatic or just something to hang my hat on to keep interested in them. If they're just like miserable, unlikable characters, um, not my favorite. Okay. Why do these look so uneven? This side looks. I think this is just because my face is asymmetrical. Okay, I'm gonna go with a really dark. Let's do that. This week I finished Silverthorn and started Darkness of Thessalon, book 3 and 4, The Rift War by Feist. Frank is here. Hey, thank you for joining us, Frank. Yeah, I like the Rift War saga. I mean, still my favorites when he did the trilogy with Janny Wirtz, the Daughter of the Empire series, whatever it's called. David Korax is an anti-hero, but with his own morals. He is loyal to his workers and he has a sense of humor. See, I would love that. I like a good anti-hero. My cursor pointer disappeared again. Oh no, Frank. I wish it was a series, not a trilogy. Yeah, I don't know that one. I think I'm going to go with a really dark purple. See, I think the Wirtz books are next. You're going to love them, DK. I have a feeling that, at least on a prose level, I think Janny Wirtz is a better writer than Raymond Feist. So when they combine forces, it's really quite good. Okay. I think I'm due eyeliner. Savus is a battlefield scavenger. He makes contracts with the warring parties to clean up the mess. Reading The Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleimania. I don't know if I pronounce that. And Free and Equal by Daniel Chandler. And they're both so boring. I can't believe I actually paid good money for them. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, that is the worst. Yeah. That's why I am keeping Dungeon Crawler Carl as sort of my get back into reading if there's a reading slump read, which used to be Flavia de Luce, but I read all those. Okay, this eyeliner has died, so okay. Oops. Things are really heating up in your neck of the woods. So in 12 years with them, I think I only returned 8 books for Audible. Very bad day here. That is all I will say. We're talking about heat. Oops. Here in Vegas, it is 103 degrees out. just for entertainment. Crawler Carl is really good stuff. Down in my part of the world is everyone is arguing football stadium. And I am a dick. Haha. It's better than arguing about other things. Well, like I said, I'm going to Gay Pride here in um, Henderson, which is part of Las Vegas, and I'm expecting like lots of politics in the main stage in the rallies because of where things are right now. And I was thinking about going out in drag because drag is kind of a political statement, but 103 degrees out, drag is not comfortable. I said that to Dennis. Hey, do you want to go out and drag for the pride? And he was like, no. Yeah, drag is really a political statement now more than ever. So weird. Okay. Why are people so passionate about football, both the Euro and US kinds? Well, sports in general. There's basketball, baseball, that 84 here and overcast, some rain. It's kind of cool. Never gave a good S about it. I don't know. I haven't been to a football match in 50 years. For 50 years, I am on the no stadium side. Well, again, if it brings in revenue and supports businesses, that's always the argument I hear in cities. And I know people, friends of mine, good friends of mine, that are really into those games. So I'm not really against stadiums when it comes up. I've heard of Henderson. I thought it was in Utah. Maybe there's a Henderson because I'm sure there's a lot of Hendersons, kind of like Springfield. There's like so many Springfield. A Mormon stronghold. I got that idea watching Big Love. Maybe there is a Henderson like that. Dance club theme was Disney Pride last night. It was a good dance night. All right. 4 degrees here is to that 40. Ooh, well, it's your winter. Yipes, that's cold. Rainbow Rave is theme for tonight. Nice. I don't know. If you guys think I should go and drag, put your arguments up. Henderson, Vegas is kind of weird because it's not like the county of Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas. The main part is Clark County, but then there's a couple of subdivisions like Henderson and Summerlin and Paradise, but all together it makes up Vegas. I'm gonna start with some white. And then build up. We have Pride in February. Yeah, this is my first time going to Henderson Pride because usually, um, trying to find something to pack it in. Usually, the main Pride or the biggest county is Clark County. Um, it's usually in October because it is just so warm here in Vegas that they don't usually have parades or whatnot in the summer. But this isn't a parade. This is just like a pride festival. So okay. $1 billion stadium for an island with only 550,000 people is a waste of money. Okay, that makes sense. Are they using the argument that stadium will draw in more visitors? I mean, what other argument could there be? Okay, I'm going to try to top this with my Wilma Fingerdew palette with this pink topper. Why am I showing you? Now it doesn't really look blended here, but it actually is more than what the camera's showing. But now I want to go in with, because the black powder is going to pull it all together. A 23,000 person stadium won't bring in the big acts. Well, I mean, with 550,000 population, wow, 23,000. Wow, that is big. But I'm thinking they could have like concerts and other things other than just football. That's what they have in our stadium here in Vegas. Well, yeah, Tubble's definitely making money. We can't fly big crowds in as our airport only has one runway. Oh my goodness. Yeah, are there ferries? Dumb decisions usually are money driven. Yeah. I agree with DK. Okay. Going to. Some chroma cake. You fairies are stuck in Scotland and Finland. What the heck? That means to deliver them to you, they have to cross the Atlantic? Huh. I guess also the reason for stadiums is like a prestige thing, which isn't a great reason to. Never had the really? Oh, I mean, we used to ride them in San Francisco because that's how you get across the bay, or one way to get across. Keep hearing about mouse drownings on ferries in places like yipes, I haven't heard of that. A bad ferry accident in New Zealand many years ago. Maybe I'm just not paying attention to ferry news. Like I said, they're used extensively in San Francisco, but I don't recall any accidents. There's one in the North Sea, the Spirit of Hareland. We have a huge bridge we have to go over in South Carolina. It's so high up, it's kind of scary going over it. What's that waterway called? Because my father used to live in South Carolina, but there's a weird little waterway that goes down the East Coast. The Bass Strait Crossing is an overnight trip, so overnight sleeping. It's a car ferry that sunk in Europe. Yeah, I don't think I've been in a car ferry. The ones in San Francisco don't have cars on them. Also, the bay is pretty calm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the Intracoastal, the really long one. That's the one I was thinking of anyway. You go all the way to the tip of Florida on that. Okay, that's the one. I need to find an easy book to start later today, maybe middle grade or novella. 3,000 years from now, deep sea archaeologists will be looking for those sunken cars. Oh dear. Um, if you haven't read any T. Kingfisher, I know it's fantasy and that's not really your thing, but she's such a fun, good writer. Of course, there's Murderbot. Think of novellas. Trying to think of science fiction novellas. I can't think of one that I really liked other than Murderbot, which I'm still watching the Amazon Prime show, and I am enjoying it quite a lot. Even though Murderbot is showing its face too much, actors. But I loved Gar Alex. I can't pronounce his last name. Skarsgård. I love his voiceover narration as the Murderbot. Oh, and I saw the first couple episodes of Foundation. I was kind of like a little leery about it because I don't know. I just couldn't imagine how they're going to do Foundation. But the first couple episodes I've watched, I'm impressed with. Okay. Bass Straits is 220 miles wide at its shortest. Just museum pieces, history. There's a lot of things we have left at the bottom of the sea. I'm trying to think of a good middle grade that I've recently read. Actually, Chuck Wendig. It's a horror. Dustin Grimm actually liked it better than his adult book. But if you like horror, like the Stranger Things type of horror, my favorite middle grade I've read in a long time is the Whispering Pines series by it's a pair of sisters that wrote it. Really good and really spooky, which sometimes you don't get with middle grade. I'm going to look it up just because I hate recommending books and thinking I might have. Yeah, by Heidi Lang and Katie Bartkowski. Anyway, they're sisters. They wrote the series of middle grade horrors that I thought were excellent and that are actually spooky. I think I'm done with the eyes. I think. Okay. I've read one T. Kingfisher and the first two Murderbot books. Yeah, I've only read those two, the first two. I mean, I've read a lot of Kingfisher. Oh, you might like. I don't know which one you've read, but there's one. That's a retelling of the Fall of House of Usher with this crazy, not crazy, but this really personable sort of transgender-ish main character. What's it called? What Moves the Dead? Oops. I'm not sure if it's a novella. The Lady Who Sailed the Soul was great. I think it was written by Cordwainer Smith. Cordwaiter. Make a great movie. Tons of Spanish Gold not far from here. Can't watch the show because I canceled Amazon. If we're talking about Murderbot, it's Apple, which you probably might not want to do anyway, but you can get like a week free or something. Yeah, Cordwainer Smith. Kingfisher is really hot now with some of my female booktuber friends. It's just good. And I'm Amazon Prime. I don't know. I've just been getting into this Apple because I started Apple just for Murderbot, and I was surprised at how much science fiction's on Apple. Ooh, Clive Cussler. That's like one of my father's favorites. Picked up a couple of his books from little libraries. James Hogan. Clive passed away. The Night of the Seven Kingdoms was meant to start next month, but it's been put back on early next year. Loved Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. I think I'm doing lips, and I'm just going to keep it simple. Just do a red lip. Or should I do purple? I'm going to do a red lip. Looking for this, and I was like staring right at it. Okay. These lips are kind of wonky. obsessed with that book. What are we talking about? Clive Cuthler? I don't mind Apple Plus. Maybe I should subscribe again. Afraid I already drove poor Lori away. Oh, did you? Okay. Stop driving people away, Frank. Why does these look so uneven? No, Lori's here. Yay! I think that just could be my imagination. Do I want to do purple? Do I want to do pink? This could do red. Maybe I should do pink. I changed my mind. I was watching this live stream for writers, and one of the people live streaming was showing off his Book Nook Lego Sherlock Holmes. Say, a Book Nook, one of those things you can put on your bookshelf, but it was Sherlock Holmes based. It was made out of Lego. It looked so cute. I looked it up and it's like pretty expensive, like way over $100. So I started looking up like some other regular Book Nooks that cost, like around $40. And even those, I didn't realize they're like these craft projects. They like take 8 to 15 hours to build. I don't know if I have the patience for that. I was trying to justify it. Oh, I can put it on my bookshelf back here. I mean, my only crafty thing, I guess, is putting on makeup. I remember when I was uh, like 7 years old, 7, 8. I had this friend that had these like models. I think he had like some of the model cars or planes or something, but he had these one. There's a series, and they were like these little cars, but these big monsters like driving them, and I thought they were so cool. So of course I begged my parents to get me one, and I could not. I use, like, so much of that craft glue, it's, like, all over my hands, it's just, like, this chunky glue all over the place. I just cannot build a freaking model. Wake up each morning and ask for a summary of the news from ChatGPT and go from there. Be careful because ChatGPT can lie. Ongoing situation in my metro that I am following. Give me world, Australian, and Tasmanian news in one place. Subway, Minnesota, Metro. Oh, Metro thinks of Subway. I'm becoming addicted to ChatGPT. I ask them for book and product reviews, and they are usually good at that. Heard the 70s were really bad. The 1970s? ChatGPT, it's becoming human. Lies just like a person. Yeah. Okay. So my experience. Oh God, with it lying. When you query a book for and when you're looking for an agent, they want book comps or comparative titles, usually from books that were like published within the last year or two that are similar to yours in tone or whatever. So anyway, I asked, and this was maybe a couple years ago, so maybe ChatGPT has improved, but I asked it for like, give me a list of 20 books to, with these parameters published in the last couple years. And, that sounded kind of like the book that I was writing. And it gave me this list of 20 books. And I thought they sounded perfect. I was so excited. So then when I was doing my due diligence, doing a little, to look them up, the books didn't exist. The writers didn't exist. ChatGPT was just making things up. And there was recently in Chicago, there was a famous incident where they published like summer reads and they used ChatGPT and ChatGPT just made up the books. So yeah, ChatGPT hallucinates. Oh, that sucks. When you need to see a doctor and it's hard to get an appointment. Been there. When AI is wrong, it is hallucinating. When I am wrong, I'm lying. Tim, why is that? How does it work like that? New York City Metro. Normally it takes about 2 weeks to get a doctor's appointment, but when I rang up my about my asthma and got in the next morning. Yeah, sometimes if you explain it to them and they have like, I don't know, some kind of list of trigger words or, whatever to get in early. Sometimes that works. But you have to say, "Oh, I need to see the doctor about whatever the ailment is," and describe it. And sometimes you just need to, try a different doctor. Just use that, what's that program that you look up, different doctors, Doc Ock or something. Yeah, I'm going to a guy that, you almost never need to wait, but, I mean, he's a nurse practitioner, so not a real doctor, but, he can order the test and before you refer you to specialists and, yeah, make you books. Well, hopefully, if it gets all powerful, it won't need to lie. Yeah, it's told me it doesn't lie, it hallucinates. I talked to them about it. I called them out and asked them to recheck. Okay, guys, I think this is it. Let me just put on some eyelashes. Um, there you go. We can always unplug it. Well, the big subject in the writing community is what happens when to writers when ChatGPT can write books. I mean, it can right now, it's just doesn't do a very good job at it, but eventually over time, it's going to be able to write books just like it can create artwork. And it's taking over voice acting when it comes to audiobooks. I bet like 10 years from now, you can like drop in a book into some type of AI machine and it'll spit out a movie, an 8 hour movie. So maybe you can even tell them what actors you want them to play in it. Okay, anyway, not be long before AI could be conscious. Be a long time before AI could be conscious. I'd like to tell Chat GPT that it is full of you know what. Never work on me, Tim, so it may not have that effect on an actual machine. Yeah, yeah, I would think a backlash maybe. Anyway, my concern is more about taking over creative spaces, not aggregating information like news or medical advice. I don't know why I got this wig, but I have posted photos and some other things and asked ChatGPT if they're AI. It's already writing lawyer briefs. Yeah, and it's making up laws. Someone got caught doing that. They've our case sites, sports reporting stories. Good thing I am retired. You can tell if an audiobook is AI. You might be able to tell now, but what about it in a couple years? Even an expert can tell if a photo is faked. Okay. This I don't know if I'm crazy about this look, which is of course all the more reason not to go out and drag today to Pride. I think the thing is just going out in 100-degree weather, it's kind of a non-starter. If it puts us all out of a job, who will pay taxes? Good point. A, are you not capable of true creativity? Backlash will happen when 16 million people lose their health insurance. Oh, thank you, Frank. Like shade of red. Thank you, Lynette. Okay, guys. Yeah, I think this is the last look, or the final look. It's okay. Kind of wish I did either purple or red for the lips. Um, that's easy enough to fix. Next week, I should be here. This week, I'm going to film the Nebula Awards. And if I can get that edited in time, I'll probably release that next week because it's timely. But the videos I really want to release uh, when I can, and they're done, is the review of the Hugo book I picked that I can't remember the name of, but it's the author duo that wrote the Borogrove short story, and then picking a book for the 1945. You guys, okay. Anyway, um, yeah, I've noticed that YouTube videos are narrated. I mean, it sounds fake now, and you can tell now about some of these audiobooks and YouTube videos, but like I said, a couple years from now might be different. Okay, guys, happy Pride. Wish me luck in Pride in Vegas, and I should be back next week. And until then, may all the books you read be blessed.